having some technical difficulties. Oh, she got we have controllers back there, but we want to go to 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8 is where we want to look. Have the Bible. There are some printouts. There's someone with some of the office personnel will get one of the printouts and make some copies. By the time you get the copies, I'm probably going to be through. But if you have your Bibles, 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. The Apostle Paul here gives us, Apostle Peter rather here, gives us an admonition that all of us need to follow. And when we are dealing with our situations in life, as God has given us another year of grace, there's some things that we need to be doing to make sure our business is on. So he says, but also for this very reason, giving all diligence. Giving all diligence. In other words, make it your business. Get your business to the point that you are taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And when you are giving all diligence to something, it means you don't have time for anything else. You don't have time for the gossiping and all the other stuff that goes on and the arguing and the being contrary. You're giving all diligence. Add to your faith virtue. It starts with faith, but then virtue is just good moral living. You got to add virtue to your faith. And while I'm working on me, I really don't have time to work on others. If I'm really working on me, I can help you, but I really need to be working on me. I can't fix you when I'm broke. If my doctor has the flu, I don't want him in the office. Okay, how sick I am. If you got the flu, you can't help me. Spiritually, we need to be getting our act together so that we can help other folks. Then he says, add to your faith, to your virtue, knowledge. There's some things you need to know. There's some things we need to get together. There's some things you need to know. And it amazes me that we know a whole lot about a whole lot, but we don't know a whole lot about the Bible. Amen. We know a whole lot about a lot of other stuff, but we really don't know a whole lot about God's Word. Sister Woods, God bless her soul, she passed out, but I can tell it because I told her when she was living. I would go visit her, and she'd had a scanner on, and she said, well, Payne, that's every code they call, she can tell me exactly what it means. And I smiled and I said, you know, Sister Woods, if you knew your Bible, like you know, you be tough. But a lot of us know a whole lot about stuff that does not matter, but we don't know what we need to know. And then a lot of us know what we don't know. Yeah, I know it's true because I heard it. How do you know it's true? The source you heard it from may not be a very good source. How many things have you heard that you thought were true that are not? And so then he says, to knowledge adds self-control. We've got to learn how to keep ourselves in check. If I discipline, Paul said, if I buffet my body, well, I don't need to be disciplined. We've got to learn how to be self-disciplined. We've got to learn how to keep myself. I've got to learn how to keep Dwight in control. The reason they put a bit in the mouth of a horse is because he's not in control. So you put the bit in there so that you can control him. And what happens is, after you hurt him enough, you don't have to pull very hard on that bit for him to turn. That's the way it is in life for us. After you do stuff so long and you find out it hurts, you should learn that I got to back up off of this because it's not. I've got to learn. One of the things that you learn, particularly when you leave home to go to college, you will not make it if you don't have self-control. Because you'll be partying every night, not going to class, and then you wonder why you got an incomplete. And the thing about college is, you show up or not. As long as you pay your... So if I don't learn self-control when I'm young, that's why you see so many old folk out of control. They never learned self-control when they were young. Now that doesn't mean you're going to always get it right, but you ought to at least have some boundaries that you won't cross. Some self-control. And then self-control, perseverance. People give up so easy. You got, if you want something, you need to stick to it. You need to make a determination that I am going to stick to this. I don't care how tough it gets. I am going to stick to this. Nothing is going to make me turn around. And I guarantee you, if you get some perseverance, Satan is going to get on your back. Because he wants you to quit. You can't quit every time something comes up in your way. Every time there's a stumbling block. You cannot quit. You got to make up your mind where you're going and be determined. Has anybody here ever been taking a trip and made a wrong turn? Good to see Sister Moore. Love. God bless you. How many of you have made a wrong turn and decided to go back home?
Because they put out, but it won't let it continue to.
No, you try to get it right. How many of us have been going somewhere and had a flat tire and just said, well, I'm just going to stop? Well, it wasn't very important to get there in the first place, and every obstacle makes you turn around. Same thing with your spiritual life. You cannot stop because there is an obstacle. Even if you make the mistake, you got to determine that this is not where I want to be. I have not arrived at the destination I want to be, so I've got to continue to press forward. I've got to continue to keep working on what I'm working on. I have got to make up my mind that what I want, and nothing and nobody is going to keep me. We do that when we're doing something wrong. And then to perseverance, God. Being more like God. And the thing about being more like God is it makes you love everything. It makes you live a better life, but it also makes you understand that you can extend some grace and mercy to folk instead of acting like you are God. You learn to have some mercy on folk. Learn to be more like God when you deal with folk. How many times has God blessed you in spite of you? Amen. I know God has blessed me in spite of me. He's blessed me even when I did not deserve it. So why can't I, in turn, extend some mercy to somebody else? And then he says, to godliness, brotherly kindness. Now, that word brotherly means humanity. It's not just the meaning. Learn how to be, you know, some folk cannot be kind. I don't care what you do. Some folks go to work, cuss everybody out. But they cursing everybody out on the way to work. They come home, kick the dog. If the wife or the husband's car is too far on that side of the garage, they open the door and slam it and hit the door. Go in complaining about what's not cooked. Find out somebody had a problem in their life. Well, they deserve it. They deserve it. Do you realize one of the reasons that I try to be smiling, I try to hug folk when they come in, I try to tell you every now and then I love you. What you don't realize, that may be the only hug somebody gets. That may be the only I love you you get that day. A young man contacted Hanaya a while back on Facebook. But that's why I'm not on Facebook, because I don't want folk bothering. But the young man contacted Hanaya on Facebook and said, can I get your dad's number? Well, you know how girls are about their dad. She said, what do you want my dad's number for? And he told her, he said,
It's him.
he may not even remember,
Yeah.
but one day I was coming home from school,
Could you come in?
smiling, and I was looking happy. And he said, son, like, you had a good day today. Tell me what your day was like. He said, I got my first A in school. And I looked at him, I said, I'm so proud of you, I love you. Keep that up. He said, that's the only I love you, and that's the only hug I've ever gotten in my whole life. Now, what we take for granted, other folk are begging. Learn that. That's why I tell you, when you come to church, don't come in here with all this gossiping and hell raising. Folk have had well, I'm gonna just say, folk have had a hell of a week. And they don't come in here for minutes. They come in here to be encouraged so they can go back in the world and deal with. Now if I got to deal with mess at home, I might as well stay at work. If I got to deal with mess at church, I might, because as hard as easy as it is to say, well, just focus on serving the Lord. It's hard to serve the Lord when you're with a bunch of devils. I'm not saying that about it. I'm just saying a lot of the church problems are folk that will not shut their mouths, keep mess going, gossiping. This is not a club. This is not a fraternity or sorority. We can't isolate folk from our group. Anybody that comes in a hurry, we need to be kind and know how to love them and treat them with the kind of love they need so that they know in all this world there is one place I can go to be loved and I can be accepted, and that's Franklin Street Church of Christ, and that's why I can't wait to get there. But sometimes in situations at churches, you got to make a decision if you really want to go. Because folk don't know how to be kind. And then, brotherly kindness, add some love. Love will help you to get through a whole bunch of stuff. It's amazing what love will do. When you love something or you love somebody, you'll go through a whole bunch of stuff with them and for them. For God so loved the world that he gave his only. And I stop by to tell you, you can give without loving, but you can't love without giving. Some folk can give you, they don't want you to have it, but they're going to give it to you anyway. But when you really love, you will give. That's why you don't hear me, you don't hear me preaching about money. You know what? Because I figure whatever you love, you take care of. My family never had to ask me to bring my check home. Why? Because I love them. And whatever you love, you're going to take. And I tell you something else. Whatever you love, you're going to try to protect. One thing about family, family can fight, but don't you get in the middle of family. And we got to have the kind of love that says, I love you in spite of, not because of. I love you in spite of, because you have to love me in spite of me. How many of us are at our best every day, all day? So God has to love us in spite of. And when you see the worth of a person, and when I say the worth, I'm not talking about the money or what they own. I'm talking about the soul that is housed within them. You cannot help but love them and want the best for them. Then he says, if these things are what? Are yours. If these things are yours, you got to know what's yours. The reason a lot of people give up and they don't grow is because they don't know what's yours. What I have learned, tell you a secret, my daddy bought me it was two horses. There was two horses. They were big horses, and one of them had a cowboy on it, and one of them had an Indian on it. And our little boy came down the street to play with me, and he got ready to leave and said, well, this is mine. I said, where'd you get it from? He said, my daddy bought it for me. I said, boy, you ain't got no daddy. You got to know what's yours. My daddy bought me those two horses. He bought me that Indian and that cowboy on that horse, and he wasn't about to leave my house with my stuff. You call it selfish if you want, but you got to know what's spiritually, you got to know what's yours, and don't let Satan or anybody else take what's yours. Then he says, if these things are yours and abound, you got to grow. All right? You got to grow. Just coming to worship is not enough. You got to grow. That's what this whole parable was about. There's a tree that was sitting there, but it wasn't producing anything. And I think I told you earlier in the sermon, we've got a Bartlett pear tree in our front yard that we pay to be a hypocrite. Because when we bought it, we knew it didn't produce fruit, but that's what we wanted. So it blooms beautiful flowers, the bees come around, but at the end of the day, there's never peril. Sometimes we force folk to be hypocrites. Sometimes we pay folk to be hypocrites. I'm your preacher. I'm not going to lie to you. I fall short just like everybody else. And I'm going to be honest about it. You're not going to pay me to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to get up here like I floated in here in angel wings. No, there's no wings in the pew, so there's none in the pool. And you're not going to set a standard for me that you don't set for yourself. I can remember well, one time I was at the house. Young folk, y'all don't know anything about this anymore. But every once a month, I had to clean the baseboards. That was my job. They had white, they were trimmed white, and I had to go around and clean those baseboards. This particular Saturday, I had James Brown going. And James Brown, the old 45, y'all remember the old 45s? Every record to drop just about was James Brown. One of the deacons came by, I had James Brown going, Dad, come on in. Daddy was sitting down at the table. And Daddy all Daddy said was just, Bubba, y'all, he called it, y'all can't call it. Bubba, turn your music down a little bit. So I heard it, he said, Repay, you let your son listen to that? And Daddy never looked up from his material. He said, do you let your son listen to it? Yeah, but he said, well, if your son outgrow, mine outgrow. You got to stop letting folk set standards for you that they don't want. Amen. You will neither be barren nor fruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. See, if you hang on to what God wants you to hang on, you'll learn a whole lot about God. But if you listen to trash, you know what you'll learn? A whole lot about trash. And stop letting folks bring the garbage to you. Because what happens is, the more of that type of knowledge you have, the less you can know about Christ. Amen. If you're filled up with, that's why, have you all ever been to, you go to Golden Corral? You know what they want you to eat? Salad. They want you to fill up on salad so you can't get the stuff you really. And we do that sometimes spiritually. We fill up on junk that does not matter. So when it comes time for the meat, I'm full, I can't. Or some of us fill up on. So we can't grow. I need to know more about Christ and less about your business. There are some of us that will sit and listen to other folks' business all day, but will not pick up the Bible and read one verse in a week. Right? But we'll listen to all the garbage we can, and then wonder why we can't deal with life and we can't grow. Then Peter asked these verses, 2 Peter 3:18. Rather, you must grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. All glory to him both now and forever. I want to know more about Jesus. I want to grow because I got enough problems in my life that without him, I know the only reason I stand is because of his grace and his mercy. So while I don't want to know your business, I want to know more about God's business. And I want to grow to be what he wants me to be. And as I said earlier, what you have to understand is, in order to produce fruit, a tree has to be pollinated by another tree. So when you're looking at other folk and say they're not growing, check yourself and see what kind of pollen you have. Maybe you're not giving them any pollen to grow with. Now that's the idea. But the gardener has, because we live in that kind of world, the gardener said, give them one more year. They have not made the ideal yet. They live in the real. So I want to work with them. I want to work on them. I want to work with them and see if I can get them where they need to be. In that spirit, the Spirit of God, I will work with you. As long as you will allow me, I will work with you. Your soil may be dry. Your leaves may be brown, but as long as I see some life in you, I'm going to work with you. But the tree itself has to want to produce something. Doesn't matter how well you. Have you ever seen some folk? It does not matter what you do with them or them. You cannot get it, particularly teachers. You see a lot of teachers which can't get nothing. You know what? Because generally that person does not see anything.
But if you do extend it, it's
Bible
still
says,
not gonna.
love is made as you love.
This big.
But first of all, you got to love God first of all. If I don't love God and I don't love me, there's absolutely nothing I can do. Nothing. You got to hurry. Here's what we need to understand. John 15:5 says, those who remain in me and I in them will bear much fruit. For you can do nothing without me. All right. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how well you dress. If you leave God out of the equation, you're really not going to start. Because God knows whether you're doing it for him or for yourself. That's why I don't like to hear preachers say, well, I baptized so many people this year. My membership is, well, these is yours, Lord. Because the Bible says, one plants, another waters, but God gives. So if anybody came to Christ under your ministry, it wasn't about you anyway. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for it is the power. It's not even about you. It's about what God is doing through you. So you got to stay connected. Anytime you get disconnected from something, you're in trouble. And that's not about to tell you. We're all the wages of sin is death. But the gift of God is eternal life. We're all on life support. And if you disconnect from God, guess what? You're not going to make it. I don't care how well and how healthy and how fat you look, you are on life support. A lot of us hear the term, you know, a lot of times the doctor will come in and say, well, I hate to tell you this, but so-and-so is terminal. And we fly all the pieces. Telling your preacher said we're all terminal. It's just a matter of time for all of us. We're all terminal. But I want to be ready that when I become terminal, that I can make it to the terminal. What's that song y'all used to sing? I'm going home on the train. When I get terminal, I want to make it to the terminal. That takes me to glory. The key is to stay connected. Stay connected to Christ. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care what. We need him to help our branches bear fruit. And without him, we started this lesson telling you something at the start of this lesson. If I ask you to rate the year, I ask you to rate from a 1 to a 10. Now, so somebody said, okay, last year was 2019. Some of you smiled and said 5. One of them said a 10. But I stopped by to tell you, with Christ, I don't care what you go through. If you're connected to Christ, every year is a 10. Because it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't care what you go through, you can find a bright side. Deliver me from folks that can't find a bright side. They're always miserable. You can give them $100 in 20. Well, I really want $100 bill. Some folks, I don't care what you do. You can't. They're miserable because they want to be miserable. And then I remind folks, some folks, you just don't know. God has been so cruel to me. You know what has happened to me this year? And I challenge them. What has happened to you that hadn't happened to somebody else? You can only say God is unfair if it only happened to you. Life comes to all of life. And you got to understand that what helps us make it through is understanding that I don't have to understand everything God does, but I do have to trust him and I do have to lean on him. Yeah, it hurts. A lot of stuff that happens to us literally hurts. But God is such that, now, and I'm through. Stop telling folks God won't put more on you than you can bear. That's the biggest lie you ever told. The Apostle Paul said, I was in such despair that I wanted to die, but the grace of God maintained me. Job, look at Job's life. God will allow more than you can bear, but I guarantee you, he won't allow more than he can bear. He'll allow more than you can bear, but it won't be more than he can bear. Because the Apostle Paul said, I finally learned after I asked him 3 times, he said, my grace is sufficient for you. And he said, I've learned when I am weak, that's when he's strong. Because if we could get through it, we get the big head start bragging on ourselves. I did this. And when he says there's nothing that when he talks about paraphrasing, that there's nothing in our lives that will come that he won't provide an escape, that's where we get that from. God won't put any more than you can bear. Well, let me ask you something. Let me tell you something. He's talking about sin. If there's a temptation, God will give you an out. How do you escape? Now, I'm going to show you the logic behind this, and then I'm gone. How do you escape the death of a loved one? There's no escape for that. How do you escape the fact that the doctor comes in and you look at fat, fine, and foxy, and he tells you you've got 4-stage cancer? How do you escape that? There's no escape for that. The escape is from sin. Stop. That's why folks get discouraged. It's because we've told them some lies spiritually. Being a Christian does not mean life is easy. It just means you have help. But you got to grow. You got to know God. We need to know as much about God as we do about everything. We need to know what, and a lot of us don't even know what our purpose is. A lot of us have no idea what our purpose is. We show up every Sunday, sing a few songs, take communion, we give, pray, we listen to the preaching. We go home. We don't even know what our purpose is. That's what I want you to think about this next week. What is my purpose? If you can ever discover your purpose, then nothing and nobody can stop you from doing what you need to be doing. Amen. I have not lived perfectly, but I have discovered my purpose is preaching. I don't care what I do. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to stop preaching. Because the power is in the gospel. All right. And my philosophy is, even if I can't make it, if I can help somebody else make it, then my living won't be in vain. God bless you. Love y'all. Got to go.
Hearing the gospel and without believing the gospel. It is up to us to make up our own mind, put in our own heart how we're going to be and how we're going to react to what God said. Within the gospel, Jesus, there is no remission of sin. So, if you've heard the gospel and you have believed in your heart, you can repent, go down into the water of the grave of baptism, and become a child of God, a Christian, nothing more and nothing less. And God will